I have been in the gaming industry for nearly 2 decades now. In these years, I have shipped hundreds of games, built a great studio, which is Underdogs, worked with global partners, raised funds, and won a few awards for the games that we've made. But most importantly, I've done this from within the industry where I know inside and out of this industry. On top of that, I've also mentored thousands of students and fresh graduates who wanted to enter this fascinating world of game development. In this video, I am talking about 10 things that anybody, any aspiring student or anyone who wants to get into the industry should know before they get into this industry. So this video is specifically for all the freshers who are looking to start their careers in the gaming industry. Hi, my name is VAIBHAV and I am the founder and a game director at Underdog Studio. We're working on a first-person narrative adventure called MUKTI, which is also a blend of gameplay and live action. We have been supported by Sony PlayStation to bring this game on PS5 and PC. Alright, so let's address the elephant in the room. All the college students, the graduates who want to get into the industry, they basically come with a lot of misconceptions. They think it's all about playing games or probably a fancy degree that they have, that they'll start building something great from day one itself. Now, all of this is far from reality. And that's why, my friends, I am making this video to give you a clarity. My aim is pretty simple. If you're a student or a college graduate who is preparing themselves to get into this industry, I want to prepare you with the right mindset, with the right expectations, and 10 things that you should definitely know before stepping into this industry. If you understand all of these things, your journey will be much smoother and your chances of building a successful career in gaming go way up. Number one is playing games is not equal to making games. You need to understand that if you're good at playing games, doesn't really mean that you can make good games. People don't hire gamers. They hire people who can build games. Loving games is the start, but you need to be able to build them. You need to have those practical skills to actually build those games. Just because you play a lot of games, nobody is going to hire you for that. So what you need to do is, if you're playing games, that's great, but you need to decide the domain that you want to start the career in. And there are 4 different domains that you can choose from: game design, game art, game programming, or game testing. So once you understand what's your core, then you should build a career into that. But if you come up by saying that I play a lot of games and I've played this and that, so please hire me, nothing is going to work for you. Number 2 is your degree is not that important. Very honestly, degree is just the starting line. Be it BCA, MCA, design, animation, from all these fabulous universities, it really doesn't matter. The degrees are not going to guarantee you jobs. What gets you really hired is a proof of skill. And how do you build that confidence in the employer? Is by showing them what you can really do. How do you show all of these stuff? Is through portfolios. So you need to build your portfolio in such a way which can actually show the employer or the company that you can actually build something. You have the skills, the right skills to pursue that particular domain in that particular company. If you're a programmer, having prototypes or demos of the games that you've built is a great proof of concept. If you're an artist, a portfolio of ArtStation with all these great artwork or art pieces that you've created is a great proof of concept. If you're a game designer, maybe you've created like a mock game design, or maybe dissected a popular game and explained why do you think the game is successful. That is a proof of concept for anybody to actually see it and believe you. Number 3 is portfolio is much more powerful than a resume. Again, this is connected to point number 2 itself, but you need to understand that portfolio is the holy grail of convincing someone that you know your stuff. One strong demo or a polished prototype is way better than a 5-pager resume. Studios want to see your skills and your craft, not just theory. Number 4 is picking your track. Like I said, there are broadly, if you're working in an Indian gaming industry, there are broadly 4 categories where you can start your career in. It's either game design, game art, game programming, or game testing. You need to specifically choose what you are destined to, what your skills align with. So if you're good at visualizing worlds, writing stuff, maybe game design is your calling. If you're good at creating artworks, 3D models, all of that stuff, programming is not for you. Game art is something that you should choose. If you're good at coding and you understand the OOPS concepts, game programming is what you should do. But making sure that you know your bit at the early stages of your career is very, very important. Don't do 2 things together, because it's not going to land you a job in either of these fields. A lot of people come to me saying, I know game design, I know game art, I've also coded games, please hire me. It doesn't work that way. Jack of all trades is good for you to understand, and for, it's fine for learning. But studios recruit specific roles. If they are looking for a game designer, they are not going to hire someone who knows game design, art, programming, all of it, because they need specializations. So if you want to start a career, you need to choose your track and double down on that. Polish those skills over and over again. Do build your expertise in that particular domain. See, having knowledge of all of these things is good, because maybe someday you want to start your own thing. When you do that, it will be helpful for sure. But if you're starting your career, you need to choose one. Number 5 is first game is not your dream project. What I mean is, be ready for production work. Be ready to work on games that you don't like. Your first game that you'll be working in any of these companies is not going to be a GTA, right? You will have to work on client projects, on service work, on a small part of a bigger game, or just something which you don't like. So be ready for that, because all of these things put together will help you learn the pipeline. And eventually when you show your skill sets, probably then you'll be able to, grow into something big. You will be looking at your skills, you'll be put into something which is really big, and you probably play a core part in that. But to start with, when you are a fresher, be ready for all kind of work, because nobody is going to put you on that big important project immediately. But yes, again, if you prove your mettle, obviously the growth that Indian gaming industry has seen is way better than any of the industries out there worldwide. So the gaming industry has grown to that pace where if you perform well, if you're good at your craft, the founders at this scale in India who are running gaming studios, they're very much willing to give you more opportunities or take bigger roles very quickly in your journey. Number 6 is feedback will be brutal, but it's normal. Industry reviews are very, very harsh. So don't get disappointed. Learn from the mistakes, because the goal is ultimate quality. Do not try to take all the feedback personally. Be ready to put down your thoughts into garbage, because what you feel is great, what you feel is right, or a kick-ass game, or a game that nobody in the world has seen before, and I'm going to change the gaming industry and all that things, right? Be ready for the feedback. Be ready for people to tell you the truth. And when you take that, take it with good positive vibe, because it is coming from the industry, it is coming from the people who have made games, who have been there, who have seen the entire production cycle, who understand the market. If you are a fresher, you have great ideas, that is all cool, but do not have that product ego, because a lot of people, when you are working in a creative field, you often tend to have that product ego where you do not feel like that you're wrong. You feel that your idea is the multi-million dollar idea and that is going to work, but it's subjective. You feeling that the idea is going to work is subjective because you're thinking from a gamer's point of view, and it doesn't have to be correct. It's again subjective. The game developers or the studios who are building games are not just building games because they saw a dream of a particular game one night and the other day they just came and started working on a game. It has never happened like that. There is a lot of market research that goes into any game that a studio picks up to build. So be ready for that feedback. Be very, very kind about it. Be humble. Try to understand what are the flaws and improve. Take it as the fastest way of learning. Feedback is a gift. Take it and learn from it. Number 7, and one of the most favorites that I have, is soft skills count. See, collaboration, communication, professionalism is the ultimate thing in any industry, in any company. And for me, it's one of the topmost priority. These things are probably equal, or for me, it's way more important than the technical skills. Teams tend to keep people they are comfortable or they are happy to work with, not the technical genius who are loners, who can't gel up with the team, who don't follow the DNA of the studio. You can't go too far with that. You can only go far because if you have those great soft skills. Communication is the key. Collaboration, professionalism, being punctual, all of these things, being a great listener, being humble, understanding the team, gelling up with the team. All of these things are way, way more important because people love to work with people that they love to work with, right? So try to build that kind of a personality when you enter any company. Number 8 is know your ladder. Whichever domain you choose, game design, art, programming or QA, everybody probably starts with an intern or a fresher job, but that's not the dead end. That is the start. You need to understand how far can you go with that particular domain. So make sure you do enough research about your domain and what are the next jumps that you can take in that particular domain. So just to give an example, if a trainee game designer, if a game designer starts as a trainee or an intern, is basically an intern, a junior game designer, a game designer, a senior game designer. A senior game designer then goes into either into the production side or a lead game designer if he wants to stick to game design. If he wants to do game design for the rest of his life, he'll probably go the game design route. If he wants to go into the management roles, he'll probably go into game production. So then he becomes a game producer, senior game producer, and then into publishing and all of that, and then eventually into CXO. But being aware of this ladder way before you enter the industry is very helpful because then you can plan your career according to that. And if you have any issues with understanding all of these things, I have built a course for game design specifically. Do check out the course. I have put the link in the description. Also, I do a lot of one-on-one sessions for guidance and mentorship. I've also included a TopMate link in the description. Just go there, check out the slots that you can actually book and have a one-on-one conversation with me regarding any of the career choices or guidance that you need or mentorship that you need. Coming back to the topic, number 9 is networking. It is very important. Attend all the conferences, attend IGDC, game jams. If there is a local meetup or LinkedIn groups having an online conversation, do not leave it. Many jobs and projects come from people that you've connected. So this is basically in and out of the company as well. If you're working in a company and you want to actually excel in in that domain or in the company or in particular in your career, to be very honest, you need to actually start networking very well. I'll give you a small example. I quit Games to Win and went to Hungama only because I wanted to connect with a lot more people. I went to Hungama and it was a big floor with 800 people on one floor. And my whole objective was to actually just say hi, connect with people. Day one, I think 800 people didn't know me because I was a fresher. I was new in that company. But 1.5 years later, when I was leaving the company, I think I knew half of the people on that floor and half of the people knew me. How it helped me is the first few projects that I did at Underdogs when I quit Hungama and started Underdogs, those projects came from these people because they knew me and I made an effort to network with these people. And it was all great because I got my dues and I got my business started because of that networking. My whole objective to get into Hungama from Games to Win was to network. So yeah, networking is important. The last one, think global, act local. Indian studios are growing fast, but the expectations are global. Everybody is expecting Indian studios to make games that can compete on a global stage. So from day one, train your skills to match international standards. Nothing is going, like if you're in a company, probably they might not help teach you stuff which is international standards because probably they also don't understand those pipelines. But make sure you put efforts to understand the outer world, to understand how global pipelines work, to understand how international studios work. Bring that knowledge in the studio. You'll automatically build your reputation over there as well. But even in a smaller setup, if you specifically work at high standards, you automatically build your reputation, you automatically build your persona, your own brand, and it's going to help you. So make sure, don't just be stuck in a situation where you're doing like simple games for too many years and then you have no clue. Once you enter a company, understand the whole environment, understand what this company is doing, what the goals are, long-term goals are, and stay there for a couple of years, understand, learn stuff, and then probably take a jump towards what do you really want to do as a career professional. There might be a situation where you want to make AAA titles someday, but you start with a small mobile gaming company. Great. It's a great start. Don't expect a lot. Don't jump too fast. But even in that mobile gaming company, if you just spend 2 years and understand the pipeline of that, then it is just scaling it up. Because once you understand one pipeline, syncing it up or understanding newer pipelines becomes very much easier. But if you don't have any clue of this and you want to do AAA, you want to jump to bigger games, it is going to be pretty difficult. So yeah, all of these things, 10 things I felt very much important for anybody who is starting their own careers. You need to have a clear understanding of all of these things. I hope I have put together some piece of information which will help younger folks who are looking for jobs, who are looking to start their career, understand this a lot better and do the best. So that was it from my side. If you like the video, please hit a like. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section. If you want to speak to me, just go to the TopMate link and book a session and I'll speak to you one-on-one. If you saw this video or this channel for the first time, do subscribe and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.